Hey guys, Jay here, and I want to share with you about my list starter for 3.24 today. And you know, spoiler, it's gonna be an AutoBomber eventually. And first of all, let me show you the skill that I plan to play with. It is one of the new gems that currently is on the screen here, and also let me show you, briefly how I would set up the character to be a actual AutoBomber. So yeah, first of all, the skill is gonna be Tornado of Elemental Turbulence. If by some miracle someone even sit through my video reacting to the content reveal, you probably heard that when they show the tornado skill, the Tornado of Elemental Turbulence skill on the video reveal, you hear me say, well, I definitely play this, and yeah, I definitely will play this one way or the other, because I'm a big fan of tornado skills in ARPG. I just love the kind of visual of the tornadoes. Sadly, the previous version of Tornado, the default gem, is just a support skill, so we cannot really play a tornado build. And the Sakuwal helmet would shit out a ton of sandstorm tornado. Is just tiny tornadoes. This one is big boy tornadoes, and you can have 3 of them now, not just 1. So that is very cool. Yeah, so mechanically, this skill has a fixed hit rate of 4 times per second, and it also has a maximum number of tornadoes. On the skill, you see the gem tag here, it has orb and prismatic, so it is a triple elemental skill. One unfortunate thing, it is a orb. If it's not an orb, then it will be much better because of archmage. The mana stacking the mana stacking archetype have changed significantly in the 3.24 patch, and sadly the archmage support doesn't work with orb skill, so that is out of the way. I cannot use it with any kind of mana stacking setup. So what I decided to go for and try to make it as an AutoBomber, in my plan, in my idea, it will not require you to press any button, probably like ever. Maybe once, maybe the movement skill, but that is everything. You just use your movement skill. The movement skill will trigger the AutoBomber cycle basically. And well, let me share with you how I make it possible. First of all, the skill here, because it have maximum of 3 tornadoes and it lasts for 4 seconds, so that means in order to maintain 3 tornadoes all the time, you only need to cast it like once every 1.3 seconds. That is the most amount of cast speed you need, right? That is the least amount of cast speed you need. Anything more than that, that is good enough. So that has insane synergy with one particular setup that I have used before personally, which is a Mjolner. And to be specific, it is not just any normal Mjolner that is going for like Cyclone and then you hit a bunch of times, you cast a bunch of skill. No, this is a Vengeance Mjolner. So if you don't know what Vengeance is, let me show you real quick. Vengeance. So Vengeance is a counterattack skill. It has up to 50% chance to trigger when hit. So it is when your character got hit. This hit can be self-hit and also can be enemies hit, right? So yeah, we trigger Vengeance. Vengeance has a base cooldown of 1.2 seconds. So in 4 seconds, it can proc like more than 3 times. And each time it hits, because it is a Mjolner, it is hit by the Mjolner, so it will proc a skill, and that it will proc the Tornado of let's just call it Tornado, right? That's the mouthful. Just call it Tornado. It will proc a Tornado once every 0.2 seconds, roughly, and so that equals 3 tornadoes every 4 seconds all the time. So that is 100% uptime of 3 tornadoes. That is very nice. How are we able to trigger the skill reliably without like relying on there are enemies nearby or not? Well, we use Storm Secret. So while mapping, whenever you shock an enemy, the Herald Thunder will hit. I mean, the Herald Thunder will trigger, it will hit enemy, and each time it hit enemy, it will hit yourself for 250 lightning damage, which can be mitigated by resistance, and all the sources can be recouped, you know, can be mitigated by a lot of things. So that should not be a big problem. And in this particular build, you don't even need to hit yourself as many times as possible, like in a Herald AutoBomber. Because if you rely on the Herald Thunder for your main sources of damage, you want it to hit as frequent as possible. This particularly, you probably want to aim for the minimum roll of increased frequency of Herald Thunder, so you get hit less often and take less damage. Yeah, you just need to get hit. This will hit you like 4 times per second, something. And of course, each hit have chance to proc the Vengeance. And as frequent, because we got hit by it frequently, if you have Vengeance, ideally with some quality, you will proc Vengeance on cooldown or almost on cooldown. And each time you proc Vengeance, you will proc a Mjolner hit that cast a tornado. Simple as that. So with this setup, and we don't scale with mana, we are using Mjolnir. Mjolnir is known for, like, last couple of leagues for like being a very exclusive item to mana stacking build, right? But currently, since we are not using mana, so the other way is probably just strength stacking. And another item that is probably mandatory for scaling damage with strength stacking here is Iron Fortress. This one gives you, first of all, tons of strength. Second, it also gives you strength damage bonus. Instead, get 3% melee physical damage per 10 strength. This is by default 2%, now it's 3, so it is like 50% better. Why do we need this? We need this because we also use Battle Mage's Cry on automation. So if you don't know, there is a new skill called Call to Arms. It will proc your war cry on cooldown, right? And what we are trying to make on cast to cast on cooldown here is Battle Mage Cry. Battle Mage Cry here is said, first of all, it gives you some critical strike chance, but more importantly, increase and reduction to spell damage also apply to attack at 25% of the value per 5 power. So if you can have 105, if you can have max power of the Warcry, you will always have 150% of that increased damage applied to your spell. And we have a lot of that because we strength stacking, we use Iron Will, we use Battle Mages. So a lot of the increased damage actually got applied to the spell, which is our Tornado, the main skill. And let me quickly show the POE. This is not a fully, you know, planned out POE because I don't have the skill yet. So just the item layout basically. So the shield here, the weapon is obviously Mjolnir. The shield here, I am using the Oppressor because eventually we would want to go for the Squire, because the Squire give us 3 extra linked on the Mjolnir, which is of course the best source of damage you can get. I'm not sure if the Squire is going to be expensive. Probably it's going to be expensive this league. It's not going to be like shitty 2 divine, 1 divine item like last league. It's going to be expensive this league, I think. So I'm not going to, use the Squire here, especially for league start. And I'm currently make it the Oppressor. Why the Oppressor? The Oppressor just have a lot of chance to suppress. And we are a strength stacking that's on the left side of the tree, so getting suppression is very hard, even though we have a decent amount of dexterity and mage bane on the skill tree. I will show you a skill tree in a minute, but it's not enough. So for a cheap item, probably just go for this one or any red shield with maybe intelligence, strength, something like that. But probably very good. We are Inquisitor, by the way. Probably I should show you a tree first, right? So this is the tree for level 88. This is the plant tree for me. Go out here, grab all the stuff on the right side of the tree here. Basically life and strength. We got strength here. We got intelligence per mastery here, so more for some extra intelligence. Wait, actually, let me change it to 5% attribute, see which one is better. So yeah, I think 5% attribute is just better. Yeah, so just get live, some aura stuff here, some crit. Go to the right side, we grab some mage bane stuff, suppression, little bit of stuff nearby here, very basic thing. All the jewels here are just the brute force solution, so they basically are here just for some extra intelligence, because our tree is heavily leaning on the strength side. Ideally we don't want to stack just strength, because we are an Inquisitor. I want to balance strength and intelligence to a very close amount, so I can have a reliable amount of critical strike chance with Righteous Providence here. Right. The other stuff that is important as Inquisitor is Instrument of Virtue. Inquisitor is probably the best class for Mjolnir, because Mjolnir innately require a lot of strength and intelligence. So if you want an Inquisitor, if you are playing an Inquisitor, first of all, you want a lot of strength and intelligence, and also because the weapon technically doesn't have any damage. So with this one, you have Battle Mage. Battle Mage makes your weapon damage added, basically as flat added damage on the skill. So you have some extra damage there, or from Battle Mage. I take this note just for the Battle Mage. The more attack damage per spell you cast doesn't matter. You don't really care about attack damage here, right? The other sources of Battle Mage are all on. First of all, there is a helmet that allow you to have Battle Mage, but it also comes with you never deals critical strike, so that is very bad. We don't want to use that. The other sources of Battle Mages are all weapons. We are using a Mjolnir already, so there's no way we can replace that with any other weapon just for the Battle Mage. So yeah, for AutoBomber, we need the Mjolnir. So this is just because we want to do a AutoBomber. I don't want to press any button most of the time. So Mjolnir. If Mjolnir turns out to be very expensive or something, well, I can still use the same setup but self-cast. That is just my backup plan there, right? The exact same setup with maybe just a regular weapon, maybe a Doom's Quaviari or something that is strength stacking, or maybe just a wand with spell damage crit, dagger spell damage crit, or whatever. Just something simple, something straightforward to increase the damage, and then self-cast it. I think it should still feels fine, because we don't need to cast very often. The Tornado skill is the skill that is duration, and it limits to 3 Tornado maximum, so you don't need to cast it all the time. You don't need to spam the button, so it should not feel bad, right? What else do I want to say? Yeah, let's come back to the item. So for this setup, the helmet is going to be a rare helmet, at least for now. What you want here is as much intelligence as possible. That is the most important thing. Some strength is okay, don't need too much. Some life is okay. It's just item holder. Iron Fortress, I have already mentioned. Repentance is nice, but not necessary. This just gives you 12% strength. You don't need the 12% strength. You can just use a rare item, but I don't think this glove is going to be expensive or something. So yeah, maybe a rare item with good strength and good intelligence might be even better for this one, if I'm being honest. Aberon's Warpath, very cheap pair of boots. The drawback of this boot is has 25% movement speed only, so we lose out on 10% potential movement speed on the boot slot, but it's very cheap. This is just an Aberon's Warpath. It's not the replica one, so this is a 1KS unique item. Try to get the 18% strength, but like 2-3% less is not that big of a deal in my opinion. You lose out on like 1% of this is 8.3 strength. Yeah, not too big of a deal if you are on a tight budget. Astra Mantis, the best in slot option for League Star. It will lose out to a lot of endgame crafting option for rare amulet late in the game, but as a start is the best. And also because we are using Mage Bane, so the dexterity we get from the Astra Mantis here is extra nice, right? So Astra Mantis is very good item for strength stacking early on, or for attribute stacking early on. Storm Secret, right? Just anything, any role, doesn't matter. If you want to, then as much intelligence, as high intelligence as possible, and as low hit frequency for Herald Thunder as possible. Another ring, this is a rare ring. Again, just try to aim for as much intelligence as possible. Some strength or crafted strength is very fine here. We don't need anything else. Maybe resistances, but 2 suffixes are already filled, so we don't have lots for resistances here. Cyclopean Coil, leather belt. So Cyclopean Coil, attribute stacking, so we used it. If this is expensive, then just use a heavy belt and then throw 1 essence that gives you intelligence into the belt. That is pretty much what we want. If you want to, you can try to aim for life resistance or something, but you know, just basic life resistance stuff should be okay here. Stacking attributes give a lot of damage in strength stacking build setup like this one, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have the optimal stuff, right? You just need a replacement rare that give you attributes that are beneficial to your character. It can be life resistant, it can be attribute, right? The jewels, so I'm using Brute Force Solution as the placeholder. You can use rare jewel, right? Blood Notch and Immutable Force. Why am I... Oh yeah, I put this one here because of one particular item. I forgot the name. There is one particular ring. So scrap this rare ring, right? There is one particular ring that I want to mention in here. Stun Valerium here. Valerium. Stun threshold is based on energy shield instead of life. And if we can keep the energy shield at a relatively low number in this build, we don't really take any percent energy shield, even though we have a decent amount of base energy shield because we have a lot of intelligence, but we will get stunned more often. So yeah, Blood Notch and Immutable Force will give a lot of recovery basically. If you want to, You can also just put on agnostic, so you have 0 energy shield. That is, you're trading off all your energy shield in the ability to be stunned and get all the recoup, the massive recoup from the immutable force. So if you do that, you probably don't go for Pious Path, and you can get Inevitable Judgment as your last ascendancy point. Yeah, take the agnostic and use Valerium. And then you can have reliable source of brute force, of immutable force, and blood notch as an extra layer of defense. They give you a lot of recovery. Is there anything else I want to mention in this particular video? The resistance in the POE looks terrible. So first of all, you probably want to change some of the item, maybe the shield, maybe the belt and the glove, to rare items. So you have a lot more resistances. If you don't have enough resistances, you also probably would want to use Purity of Element in this case, because it's a very good source of elemental resistance, and it's also a very good source of what is a good way to deal with ailments, right? You're immune to freeze, shock, and ignite. That is very nice. So yeah, that is everything I want to share with you today in this video. So thanks for watching. Let me know what is your plan for League Start, at least for now. Maybe if they release a new batch of Transfigure skill gem, there is new information, new skill gem, then well, maybe there's something else that is more interesting than that and you want to try it. Let me know in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.